Right. I've written a book on golf called Breaking 80. Now, if you're a golfer, you know what that means. If you're not a golfer, it means it's like a milestone. It's like becoming a teenager. And what it is, it's a story of a man about age 60, I'm 65 now, who found he had diabetes and needs to take some exercise and decided to play golf. And it's about my journey to get better. Can men get better? Yes. But having said that, I nearly broke 80, but not quite. But it has a happy ending nonetheless. No. This is a scrupulously accurate account, a book with very few adverbs or adjectives, and it tells you what it's like to struggle around the golf course day in, day out. It's not quite as boring as that sounds, because there are lots of adventures on the way. And also I weave in a bit about my life as a first at the pubs and as a literary agent. And there's quite a lot about India there, playing in Delhi, playing at Godwin. So it has a local flavour as well as an international reach. There we are. Right, when you go around, there are 18 holes in a golf course, and each hole is allocated a certain amount of shots. Now, if you're a very good golfer, and you add them all up, and it comes to like 72 shots. Now, if you're Tiger Woods, you go around in 65 shots. If you're David Godwin, you go around in 95 shots. So the thing is, can you get better? And 80 is a crucial score that makes the difference between a man and a boy. So it was whether I could get to that score. And there was a lot of practicing involved, and eventually I got to, I think, 81. So in a way, I did achieve it. Not quite, but good enough for me. I think if you've got diabetes, there are two sorts of, there's really serious diabetes when you inject yourself, or there's not very serious diabetes, which is serious enough, where you take pills, but you've got to keep your weight down. You've got to take no sugar, you take pills, I take collar pills, but you have to keep your weight down, and I was a bit tubby. So the problem was, how can I be less tubby? So off I sped, and if you play a golf course, it's like 8 miles. If you play 2 rounds in the day, that means you walk 16 miles, and that's very good for you. And of course, you're walking, you're not eating or drinking. So that's very good for you. So I managed to achieve doing a sport I enjoyed, which I do enjoy very much, as well as losing weight and being fit and healthier. And I'm not as tubby as I was, not perfect yet, but we're still working on it. So it was immensely good fun. And I play in a competition, so it was very nice to write about the people with whom I play, and to write about that, and to write about them, much to their surprise. And it's actually, it was a great adventure, and I immensely enjoyed it. It's only short, so it's not a long read, but it's also very economical. So it's not padded with lots of stuff. And because I'm a literary agent, I have lots of clients who are proper writers. It's a slightly perilous business, because I'm sort of a weekend writer and not a serious writer. Because if they think I'm in business of taking them on, so I don't say things like, well, us writers. So I think of myself as a literary agent who's also written a book, not a writer who's also a literary agent. Well, I went to the doctor because I had an infection, and they did a test on me, and they came back and they said, do you know you have diabetes? And I said, no, I don't know. So he told me, yes, you have. And I said, what do I do about it? He said, you take these pills and you take some exercise, a lot more exercise than you do. So I thought, well, I could play tennis. The trouble about all those sports is you need someone else. The great thing about golf is you can get up in the morning, go and do it on your own. And I am really a solitary golfer. So in that way, I don't have to ring up people, please come play tennis with me. I'm not going to join a football team. My days playing for Manchester United are over. So I'm not going to get in, I'm not going to get in there. So I just went for the best solution. I have a dog. So I could also have the advantage of walking my dog, playing golf. The only problem is my dog is a Jack Russell, and Jack Russells are incorrigible dogs, so they chase the ball. So this is a real problem. Hit the ball, the dog rockets after the ball, so I have to train him, try not to hit the ball. And the other tactic I decided was hit lots of balls, so at least that would confuse him. But that's not very popular on a golf course. Some maniac sitting at the hitting 10 golf balls in a row, just to stop a dog running around the fairway. But it was fine. Very simple. I start off by telling about the diabetes and what I have to do, and then it's really through the journey. I mean, me going to buy some clubs, practicing, deciding which course I did. But it was full of disasters. I mean, it was full of people. Golfing community can be quite difficult. So there was an instance with a man who accused me of some woman who barged in front of me and insisted. And as a single golfer, you don't have much status in golf. as this woman told me, firmly, and sent me racing back to the clubhouse. I was incredibly angry. So they're full of lots of issues like that, of me fighting out the establishment, because golf clubs, I love golf, but I don't terribly like golf clubs, and I'm not mad keen on golfers. I mean, there are many exceptions to it, but generally, for example, I was talking to someone the other day, an elderly man, and I said to him, do you play golf? And he actually said to me, no, I don't, I'm still sexually active. I was horrified. I didn't know what to say. Well, what can you say when you say that? But I did feel a complete idiot. But I felt he sounded... I know I couldn't say that, and I'm quite glad I'm not the kind of guy who says things like that. But normally, they're the golfers who say things like that, as opposed to the non-golfers. But they are a funny breed. They wear funny trousers. They have lots of funny expressions, because the golf language is basically incomprehensible. They're full of things like, you get a birdie or an albatross, you know, and people look at you and you say, I've got a birdie. And they, so, you know, what do you do? So, you know, it's a specialized language. But I would urge it on people. It's tremendously good fun and very hard. Yeah, I think that's great. I think the other thing, playing golf in India is quite different from playing golf anywhere else in the world. I was playing at the Delhi Golf Club, and you have a great team with you. I mean, in England, you normally play on your own. Here, of course, you have someone who has the clubs, you have a ball spotter, and you have someone perhaps, and there are some people who are so large, they have special people to put the tees to hit the ball on. So anyway, I go to Delhi Golf, we go and play, and the ball goes speeding off into the woods on the right. Now in England, what happens is you go into the woods, you trudge around, you can't find the ball, you're penalised, you feel really fed up, you come back on the fairway. In India, what happens is, the ball spotter goes into the woods, finds the ball, brings it back, puts it on the fairway. It's like, this is fantastic, I can play golf like this. So that was remarkable. So it comes very, I mean, I'm not sure it's entirely fair, but I'm not interested in fairness. So it was great. I love playing there. Yeah, there's a bit of that. But yeah, but I don't want to feel like I'm not well, I'm English, but I don't feel myself a member of the Raj when I'm on the golf course. In fact, golfing's a pretty Raj activity. I do know that. But I survived.